Hey everyone, Chilly here, back with some more Boxing Underdog. So for today's video, I'm going to have 2 PvP matches as usual, but for the second half, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. Just want to discuss spam. You know, a lot of players in the game have been accused of spam by people online and their matches. You know, I'm no stranger to that. I'm going to discuss what I believe qualifies as spam and the difference between like spam, exploits, and the damage system, and what is actually just like a legitimate combo, and you know that could be perceived as spam based on just like lag issues or something like that, or just not really understanding boxing. So anyways, enough about that. Let's jump into PvP and have some fun. Alright, first match of the video, we are going against Zach Zorman, round 1.
Protect yourself at all times. Good luck to both. Chops!
Looks like he needs some time to adjust here. Trying to remember to incorporate my angles more and not be stationary for too long. Yeah, there we go, first knockdown.
You can really see fatigue starting to set in. Can you continue? Show me you're ready. And they're back at it. Both fighters looking to dictate the pace and fight their fight.
I was actually swinging pretty hard there. I throwing a lot of force in that. I wanted to secure that knockdown.
Look at me. Are you okay?
One more knockdown and we take the match.
This truly has been a spectacular season. Both fighters are still in the running for a championship.
Right hook. The last 3 seconds, 3 knockdowns in round 1. That is a TKO.
Impressive. That's it. This fight is over. The winner by technical knockouts, fighting out of the red corner. As predicted, a one-sided unanimous decision.
Moving on to match number 2. We are going against opponent Can't Guard Ty. Alright, let's see how this one goes.
Gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 3 rounds of boxing. Protect yourself at all times. Good luck to both. Fight!
Okay, I actually wasn't expecting to catch him with that. Guess that's why they call him Can't Guard.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is over.
And that's
Official
it.
verdict.
Match number 2
The winner,
complete.
by unanimous decision, fighting out of the ring.
So, you got accused of spamming. Well, what is spamming? So for this portion of the video, I'm actually going to be stepping into the single-player training dummy, so I can kind of just go over what I believe qualifies for spam and what doesn't, and just go over some of like the exploits and damage that we're currently seeing before any patches come in. So obviously, spam can look like a lot of things, but one of the most common things that people claim that people do is just kind of do this, just pawing away at their opponent, throwing endless shots without any thought for form, no real footwork at all. You know, in that situation, I didn't really move my legs. I just kind of just tossed my arms out to hit my opponent as many times as I could. This is definitely going to be spam right here. All right, this is going to qualify for spam, and unfortunately it's actually, you know, kind of effective because it builds up damage really quickly when it shouldn't be. See, that was just the windmill technique that I had one of my opponents in my prior videos using on me. He just raised his hands up high like this and just came down with these slapping motions, and he actually caught us with a knockdown at one point, so that was pretty frustrating. But yeah, this is also spam. All right, this will count as spam. It's also just an exploit in the damage system. Now, in this game, the absolute worst offense I've seen is through slapping your hands rapidly against your opponent. You know, you tuck your torso back so you keep your body safe, stick your arms out stiff, and you just do this. This knocks people out. Does anybody think that this should be effective in any world whatsoever? The answer is no. But unfortunately, until we see any kind of patch or like a ban implemented, we're probably just gonna keep seeing this, particularly in the upper ranks of PvP. I've seen a lot of people they'll try to box in the first round, and if they get knocked down, they'll immediately resort to any one of these cheese tactics. Now, often I'll also see people get frustrated after I throw a legitimate combo that they perceive as spam, like this. 5, 6, 5, 2. All right, that is an actual combination. On the other side, it's a 6, 5, 6, 5, 2. These are all combinations that Customato taught to people that were learning the peekaboo style of boxing. So, you know, just because someone throws 4 to 5 hits, it doesn't mean they're doing this right here. You know, there's a difference between throwing an actual combination and this. That is spam for sure, yeah. There's no form to that. When someone comes up to you and throws 4 or 5 solid shots, though, with good form, that's not spam. I'm sorry, you just got hit with a combination that you failed to dodge or block in any way. Something like this right here has gotten me accused of spamming. My opponents will do something like this after I hit them with something like a proper combination, as if they're saying, like, why are you spamming? Like, I'm not. I'm not spamming you. I'm throwing a combination that I train on my heavy bag in real life. Not often, but sometimes my opponents will get upset with me with another one of my combinations, which is the 7-2-1, which is just the jab, cross, hook, and it's one of my favorite combinations to use. Very simple, super effective when you're throwing all your weight with it. But I'll do a couple of these, back away, you know, hit him again with it, back away, move again with it. That right there has gotten me accused of spam. Like, I'm not sure how. I'm not sure, you know, probably just someone who sucks at the game and just getting frustrated that I'm tagging them with 3 shots precisely. But yeah, that has even gotten me accused of spam. Okay, that's not spam. In fact, there's actually a combination that's 7-2-1-2-1-2. You know, it's like 6 shots. So I don't know how anyone could call that spam when it's a legitimate combination taught in the Customato style of boxing. So for a quick reference, this right here, this is spam. 100% you should be upset if your opponent is doing this. This is definitely spam, which very different from this right here. You know, this is using actual footwork, using a real combination, breaking away, reassessing, totally different. I do believe that lag probably has a bit to do with it. You know, depending on the connection between you and your opponent and how fast you're throwing your punches, it could come across that it's looking a little wonky on their end, and maybe that's throwing off their judgment or perception of how you're fighting. I've had a few matches where it did kind of look like that could be a contributing factor, but I don't know entirely, so I'm not going to say that is the answer or not. But it's obvious when someone's doing something like that. So yes, that is my video on what I believe qualifies as spam. I really don't think anything that's thrown with proper form and, you know, good technique should be counted as spam. I think there's just some people out there that get frustrated by getting hit with more than 2 shots, and then they accuse their opponent of spamming because their ego's too big to admit that they just lost. Well, that's going to be the end of the video. As always, thanks for watching. Be sure to give the video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe always helps the channel a ton, and I will see you all on the next one.